Good afternoon, everyone. Now we are going to discuss about nutritional status. What is meant by nutritional status? It is a current body status of a person or a population group related to their state of nourishment, the consumption and utilization of nutrients. Internal factors and external factors. Internal factors like age, sex, nutrition, behavior, physical activity, and diseases. And after that, external environmental factors like food safety, cultural, social, and economic circumstances. Food safety, cultural, social, and economic circumstances. Okay, these are all nutritional status is the current body status of a person or a populational group. And after that, nutrition intake and requirements. We must use saturated and trans fat, sugar, and salt sparingly. And we take only low and non-fat dairy products, milk, yogurt, and cheese. Bright color vegetables, 3 or more servings, and deep color fruits, 2 or more servings. And after that, whole, enriched, and fortified grains and cereals, rice, wheat, ragi, and bread. And after that, water or liquids, 8 or more servings. Water or liquids, 8 or more servings. And next one, dry beans and nuts, fish, poultry, lean meat, poultry, fish, dry broth, eggs, and nuts. There are 2 or more servings. And after that, to choose whole grains and fortified foods such as brown rice, 100% whole wheat bread, and bran cereals. We must take 8 or more servings of water or any liquids. And after that, choose water, fruit of vegetable juice, low and non-fat, milk or soup. Okay. Nutritional assessment. Malnutrition may increase risk of any infections and chronic diseases. Undernutrition, overnutrition. Undernutrition may lead to increased infections and decreases in physical and mental development. Overnutrition may lead to obesity as well as to metabolic syndrome or type 2 diabetes. Okay, and after that, what are the main purposes of nutritional assessment? What is meant by nutritional assessment? Nutritional anthropometry is concerned with the measurements of variations of physical dimensions and body compositions at stages of life cycle. And the basic measurements which should be made on all age groups are weight in kilograms, height and arm circumference in centimeters. In young children, it should be supplemented by measurements of head and chest circumference. Okay, this is about nutritional assessment. First, we have to identify the individuals or population group at a risk of becoming malnourished. After that, identify individuals or population who are malnourished or undernourished. To develop healthcare programs that meet the community needs, which are defined by the assessment. And after that, to measure the effectiveness of the nutritional programs and interventions once initiated. Okay, these are all about purpose of nutritional assessment. And after that, methods of nutrition assessment, direct methods, indirect methods. In direct methods, we must deal with the individual and measure objective criteria. Indirect way, use community indices and that reflect the community nutritional status or needs. After that, anthropometric methods, clinical methods, dietary evaluation methods, biochemical or laboratory methods. In anthropometric methods, there may be body, height, weight, and proportions. That means weight for age, weight for age. Okay, in weight for age, the nutritional status can be interpreted using Gomez classification. That means 90% of weight for age normal. If 76 to 90% for weight for age, grade 1 malnutrition, and 61 to 75 grade 2 malnutrition. 60% అంటే under 60% of weight, grade 3 malnutrition. Okay, and what are the linear measurements? Mid-arm circumference, skin fold thickness, head circumference, head or chest ratio, hip or waist ratio. Okay, in adults, height. In adults, BMI, body mass index, should be calculated by with a formula weight by height meter square, weight in kgs by height in meter square. Okay, and that high BMI is associated with type 2 diabetes and high risk of cardiovascular morbidity and mortality. What is morbidity and mortality? Morbidity means disease rate and mortality means death rate. Okay, and after that, for example, if a person weighing 68 kgs and height is 165 centimeters and the BMI of the person is 24.98 kg per meter square. If BMI below 18.5, underweight, the weight status will be underweight. If the BMI 18.5 to 24.9, normal. And if the BMI 25 to 29.9, overweight. 30 and above, obese. Okay, we must maintain our body weight. Waist circumference is measured at the level of the umbilicus to the nearest 0.5 centimeters. That means with relaxed abdominal muscles, arms at the side and feet together. Hip circumference is measured at the point of greatest circumference around hips and buttocks to the nearest 0.5 centimeters. Non-stretchable tape, we must use non-stretchable tape and in close contact with the skin but without indenting the soft tissue. What are all the nutritional diseases? There may be sufficient energy in the form of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. An adequate diet should provide. If the person should have insufficient energy, they may get malnutrition and undernutrition. That means protein energy malnutrition. Okay, there may be inadequate intake of proteins and calories, and there are two main clinical symptoms, marasmus and kwashiorkor. In marasmus, we see skeletal muscles will be affected and overall lack of calories. Kwashiorkor means protein deficiencies. Okay, marasmus means marasmus, lack of calories, and kwashiorkor, lack of proteins. Clinical manifestations are anemia, multivitamin deficiencies, immune deficiency, and loss of muscle mass and subcutaneous fat. These are all clinical manifestations. Weight is less than 60% of normal. And after that, kwashiorkor is a childhood protein energy deficiency that occurs when protein deprivation is greater than reduction in total calories. Clinical manifestations are hypoalbuminemia and generalized or dependent edema, loss of weight, and sparing of muscle and subcutaneous fat will be present, and weight is between 60% to 80% of normal. Okay, this kwashiorkor mainly we see in who have been weaned off the mother breast when the second child was born. Okay, this is marasmus and this is kwashiorkor. The clinical features of kwashiorkor and marasmus. Kwashiorkor occurs in children between 6 months of and 3 years of age. And in kwashiorkor, growth failure will be there, and in marasmus, common in infants under 1 year of age, and growth failure will be there, wasting muscles but preserved adipose tissue. And in marasmus, both muscles and adipose tissue will be wasting. And in kwashiorkor, edema, localized or generalized present, In marasmus, edema is absent. In kwashiorkor, this is the first sign, edema. Okay. Enlarged fatty liver. Here no hepatic enlargement. And here serum proteins will be low, and here serum proteins are normal. Anemia is present, and here also anemia is present. And main are dark hair and alternate bands of light. Flag sign. We must observe flag sign in kwashiorkor patients. In marasmus, monkey-like face, protuberant abdomen, thin lips. Okay. These are all the clinical features of kwashiorkor and marasmus. Kwashiorkor and marasmus. Kwashiorkor edema, full generalized edema or localized edema will be present. Here no edema. This is marasmus. Okay. And in that anorexia nervosa means the people able to eat but fear of gain of weight. Okay. In these patients we must see fear of gaining weight. And obesity is defined as an accumulation of excess of adipose tissue that impacts health risk. The body weight of 20% excess over ideal weight for age, sex and height. And etiology main causes are overeating and inactivity and sedentary lifestyle. These are all the main causes. Okay, these all are about nutritional assessment. In nutritional assessment, anthropometric indices will be there. In that, weight for age and height. Height of the individual is the sum of 4 components: leg, pelvis, spine and skull. In that, length of an infant is 3 kgs and 50 centimeters. By the time the baby turns 1, the birth weight is doubled and an increment of 25 centimeters in length is reached. Head circumference. The measurement of head circumference is a standard procedure to detect pathological condition in children. If head circumference will be enlarged, there may be this head circumference will be head circumference is a standard procedure to detect pathological conditions. For example, hydrocephalic babies, we must see this head circumference will be large, okay, greater than that of the chest. After that, chest circumference. The circumference of the head and chest are about the same at 6 months of age. After that, the skull grows slowly and the chest more rapidly. Between the ages of 6 months and 5 years, the chest and head circumference ratio of less than 1 may be due to failure to develop or due to wasting of muscle and fat of chest. Okay, these are all about anthropometric measurements. And mid upper arm circumference. Mid upper arm circumference at birth in a healthy child is between 10 to 11 centimeters. Over the first year, the increment in hence there is not too much difference between the 3-year-old from that of a 5-year-old. The WHO recommended 14 centimeters as a desirable value for mid upper arm circumference for preschool children. Okay, 14 centimeters. If less than 12 centimeters among 1 to 5-year-old children, they are designated as malnourished. Okay, this is all about anthropometric indices. What are the main clinical signs of nutritional deficiency disorders? Protein energy malnutrition, vitamin A deficiency, riboflavin deficiency, that means vitamin B, B2, and thiamine deficiency, vitamin B1, beriberi, and vitamin C, scurry, bleeding gums, and vitamin D deficiency, rickets. Iron deficiency, pale conjunctiva, that means vitamin B12 deficiency that may cause us anemic. And iron deficiency seen in enlargement of thyroid gland. Okay, these all are about measurements of anthropometric measurements, nutritional assessment and needs of nutrition and nutritional health. If you have any doubt regarding this topic, you ask. What is the diet in anemia? If the person in anemic condition, the person may use it to take liver, meat, eggs, spinach, drumstick leaves, ragi, jaggery. These foodstuffs will be recommended. Okay, for the formation of new red blood cells or hemoglobin. If the person may suffer with diabetic, the diet should be different from that. Avoid carbohydrates. Example, rice, biscuits, sugar, jam, sweet, honey, carrots and sweet potatoes. These all may avoided, and the total calories required 20 to 25% should be from protein, 40% from carbohydrates and 40% from fat. Okay. In diabetes mellitus, the metabolism of carbohydrate, fats and proteins are affected. So we must take care about our diet. The dietary treatment depends upon the severity of the condition. Okay. In tuberculosis and accident, burns, nephritic syndrome, if the person may suffer with these all diseases, they must take high protein intake diet. Okay, and easily digestible diet should be recommended. High nutritive value protein diet, milk protein should be given. Okay, what are the foodstuff which are high protein, rich in high proteins? Eggs, fish, meat, dal, dahi, beans, soya bean and groundnuts. Milk proteins, these are all the foodstuffs contains rich protein. Okay, and low fat diet are no fried food, ghee, butter or other fat is allowed in diet. Only rice, chapatis, bread, fruits, dahi and vegetables should be recommended for low fat diet. Restricted from the diet patients with liver diseases and gallbladder diseases, and carbohydrates should be low in their diet. Okay, and after that, salt free diet. Who have hypertension patients are there, or patients, you should avoid baking powder, salt and puppets, canned foods, cheese, pickles, salted chips and biscuits. These all are about salt free diet. And what are liquid diets? Vegetable soups and any juices, fruit juices and clear liquids must be take. These are all about nutritional assessment and nutritional needs of the patient. Thank you everyone.